Hello, I'm Ash. Today we're flying British Airways from London to Delhi. Want to join me? Not the best of starts. What about this for a queue to check in the business class queue? I'm not sure about that. Hi there, check in for the Delhi flight please. Today, thankfully, we know that we're going from the B gate, so that means that our flight's going to depart from that particular satellite. And thankfully, BA have got a nice lounge in the B gate, which is normally a bit quieter. So hopefully, we can get away from some of this madness. So, today we're travelling on BA Club World, which is the old-fashioned version of business. It'll be interesting to see how that compares to other classes of business that we're going to fly on over the next few weeks, because as I understand it, the product, the actual seat, is hugely out of date, and whilst it was cutting edge when it was first delivered, which was probably 20 odd years ago now, these days it's woefully out of date. So it'll be very interesting to see whether the other aspects of the service, so the crew, the food, the bedding, all of that sort of stuff, how that compares and whether that's actually any good or not. So yes, I'm really looking forward to this flight today. So, breakfast time. What can people expect? Let's have a little look, shall we? Juice, croissant, fruit. We have some cooked breakfast over here. What we got? Mushrooms. Oh, hello. We've got a new arrival. What's that? Chocolate croissant. And weirdly, biscuits. That's a bit weird. Let's go with the full English, don't you think? I think so. So, breakfast time. Some people went, i.e. me, for a nice healthy salmon and cream cheese bagel. Very nice too. I also went with a bit of sausage, while we're here. A certain someone who cannot be named because she doesn't want to appear on video ordered 1, 2, 3 champagnes for herself. It's going to be a long day. Here's a nice spot. We've got a lovely view of the Apron, and in the background is our flight. That plane there. Very nice. Good view of the Apron though, isn't it? Okay, so let's do a seat tour, shall we? And see what we actually get for this Club World business class flight today. So let's have a little look here. We've got, because we're on a 787 Dreamliner, we have these electronic window blinds, which I'm not a big fan of, to be honest. because they can be controlled centrally, which isn't ideal. We then have down there, we've got the sort of seat thing. Let's see if we can get that to work. The seatbelt signs are on at the minute, so we can't move about quite as easily as we can normally. But the idea is that you remove that little latch down there, and then you can tilt the seats down like this. And that gives us the opportunity to be able to put our feet up if we want to. I'll take my shoes off later and do that for a bit of relaxation. So we'll get rid of that. Then what else have we got? We've got the screen. Now the screen comes out from the side like that, and it's a touch screen. It's probably getting up there now in terms of its age, so we'll have a look at that in a bit more detail later on. Beneath that you've got the table, which folds down like that, slides forwards and backwards, and also folds out again like that. So it's a pretty decent platform actually for meals and drinks and what have you. So that's pretty good and pretty easy to work on as well, and a good height. And if you don't need it for too much, you can have it half folded, and then you can still get in and out as necessary. Beneath that we've got some literature there, including the menu. Then we've also got the power, so we've got a 3-pin power, universal power socket there, as well as a USB, together with a small drawer, which has got some additional storage in it. So let's have a look in there. In there we've got the headphones, we've got some water, we've also got the Amenity Kit, which we'll take a look at in a little bit more detail later on as well. Moving a bit closer to us, we've got the seat controls here, so we'll maybe try it out as a bed a bit later on. We've got this screen here, which is controlled by a button on the top, so let's just make that happen. And then we'll put that back up again. Then carrying on round, we've got the socket for the headphones, together with the controls for the screen as well. And then up there we've got a reading light, which we can control the brightness and what have you. And we've also got an extra USB down the bottom there, and eventually you can find the adjustable armrest there, which goes up and down depending upon whether you're in bed mode or not. So we've got quite a lot of room, quite a lot of comfort actually. The one thing it probably doesn't have is it doesn't have individual air sockets above, so depending upon how hot or cold the crew want to keep the aeroplane, it can be a bit unpleasantly warm on occasion. But generally speaking, it's a sort of tried and tested thing. So yeah, it's a pretty decent environment to spend a few hours in. So, pre-departure drinks. What are the choices? Obviously, orange juice, apple juice, water. Some weird person went for tea. Each to their own. Not for me though. And boarding actually was pretty quick. We arrived just at the right time to get through. Group 2 in business. Quite who Group 1 were, I'm not sure. I'm guessing that's the BA Gold members. But unfortunately we're just lowly silver. So here we are, enjoying a nice glass of champagne. Yeah, tastes like champagne. So what else have we got? We've got a nice fluffy pillow, and down here we've got what I'm imagining is a blanket in a bag, and pretty soon we're going to be on our way.
we're going to take a look at the window blinds. So they've been set to dark. I would argue that that's not dark, that's still slightly see-through. I know it's very, very bright outside, as you can see the sun there, but it's still, it's not really as dark as it could be. Let's see if we can lighten it up and see what a difference that makes, and then we'll have a look over the south coast of England. And there you can see the south coast of England. Yeah, very pretty view. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the British Airways Amenity Kit. Now, British Airways have had a tie-in for a long time with the White Company, and they're a London-based brand. And despite the name, it doesn't necessarily come with everything being white. So let's have a look inside what we get. So it's a little leatherette pouch, and it's nice enough. Let's have a look at that. So what have we got? We've got a bit of information about the pack and about the White Company, I think. We've got earbuds, so little things to help you sleep if you find the airplane too noisy. What have we got here? We've got luxury lip balm. My daughter will like that immensely, I'm sure. What's this one we've got? Gentle moisturiser. We've got, let's have a look at what we've got here. Eye mask, very helpful. British Airways eye masks tends to be some of the better ones, I always think. Soft, comfortable, and very, very effective. So absolutely essential on a night flight. Won't need it today, I don't think, because frankly I probably won't be sleeping a great deal. What else have we got? Socks. Very, very handy on a flight, just because it's nice to be able to relax, take it easy, and not walk around in bare feet, which frankly is gross, as I think we've already established in the lounge. Okay, what else have we got? We have got, oh yes, this famous thing, Pulse Point. My daughter thinks that's something useful. I've not tried it yet. Maybe I'll give it a try. What else have we got? Pen. British Airways, the only people to do a pen. Fantastic idea. Really handy, especially for a landing card for Delhi. And of course, toothbrush, toothpaste. What's not to like? That is the Amenity Kit. Pretty good. Not the best, not the worst, but pretty good. Quite like it. Well done, BA. Keep going with that. Although if anyone can explain in the comments below what a pulse point is, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks. Okay, so here we are. We've just had the first service come round, so as threatened, nice little cheeky beer. This is the Brewdog Special for British Airways version. Very nice too. Actually, that is nice. I might be having a few more of those. And a little packet of nuts. As I don't like nuts, they're going. Now we're going to take a look at the entertainment system on board. I've re-recorded this audio because it was absolutely dreadful on board. So here we've got a screenshot of the new releases that are available on the flight. One of the problems there is you can see that the screen is moves backwards of its own accord sometimes, which is very, very annoying. And thankfully has been fixed on other versions of this particular plane. So there's 54 new releases there. When I first recorded this, I thought that actually that was the sum total of the films, and that was absolutely not the case. There were loads and loads of films. 54 was just the new releases. So actually that was pretty impressive selection there. The television piece was interesting because there was quite a lot of stuff on there which actually I was quite interested in. The Paramount Plus piece had things like the 1923 and quite a few episodes of that. I think, and Yellowstone as well, which is highly recommended if you've not seen that. And I think from memory it also has the new series of Frasier, or a few of the episodes of Frasier at least. So at least you get a chance to get into a season if that's the sort of thing that's interesting to you. Next, we had a look at what did we do next? We had a look at the music section, and there was quite a lot of stuff on there actually. There was, let's have a little look. We've got, it's Christmas, surely not. There was quite a lot of playlists from memory, and so I mean there's 29 different things going on there. So hopefully something that lots of things that people might find interesting. Bit of K-pop, why not? We then, I believe, went to have a look at the flight path. So the 3D maps. So this is quite an old system, and again, when it was first installed, it was cutting edge. It's probably a little bit dated now. The graphics are a little bit clunky. It does work. It is pretty self-explanatory. You can zoom out there using that thing. So it gives you a good indication as to where you are, and then you can actually tilt it as well, so you get a decent understanding as to sort of where you are in the world. I mean it's a pretty decent system. It's not by no means is it the best out there on the market these days, but it does the job. And for people who are like me, who watch this stuff quite a lot, it is pretty interesting, and you can tilt the world like that and generally mess with it to your heart's content. So yeah, pretty decent system really, and certainly lots on there to keep people entertained. Home button there, so you can get rid of the flight map if you don't like it, and then there's even a few games on here as well. So puzzles and trivia and arcade and etc. And I think there's even a multiplayer thing where you can play against other people on board. So I've not tried that out, but a few different things there. And you control these with your handset, which is sort of by your right elbow as you sit in the seat there. So yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff there, and there's even a sort of a zone for the kids as well. So this is sort of a single place for all the different things for them to watch as well. So very good. Okay, so a quick look at some of the food that's arrived. What have we got? We have soup, carrot soup, bread, salad, butter, water, bit of beer still, and some sauces. So let's give it a little try, see what we think. I'll get it ready in a minute, but just to try. That's good. That's really good actually. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy that. Very nice. And here we have the Welsh leg of lamb. Let's give it a try. Nice. I'll happily demolish that. See you later. And to finish, a nice chocolate and orange mousse with a glass of port. Oh, I'm enjoying this so far. The lamb. Hi there. 40 minutes to landing. So what have we got so far? We've got I'm trying to think of things that you might want to see that maybe we haven't yet shown you. One of those is the bed, so we'll have a look at putting that up in a moment. And the other thing I thought I would mention is the Wi-Fi. So, as I said at the beginning, this is a Boeing 787-800, which is quite a modern aeroplane. But unfortunately, there's no Wi-Fi on this service, so it wasn't something I was able to show you, I'm afraid. There you go, maybe next time. So, the bed then. This is going to be interesting because essentially there is the buttons down there, which are what we're going to be using to get the bed flat. But in order to actually see this very well, I think we're going to have to actually get up and let you see it. So bear with me a second, and if the camera goes shaky, I'm afraid that's something we're going to have to live with. Hang on. I'm lying down. What I would do then is put the ottoman thing at the end, which will make an approximately 6 foot bed. There you go. Okay, so we've got an hour and 30 still to run. We've made really good progress. We're expecting to arrive about 1:10 in the evening, and as promised, here's a second meal. Now that, believe it or not, is a chicken pie. Not sure how people feel about that. I'm not sure it looks all that appetizing, but who knows, maybe it's good. Let's give it a try and find out. Goes. It's a big thumbs down. So here we are coming into Delhi, right on time. Really excited to get on the ground now and see what this fantastic city's got to offer. But yeah, the one thing you do notice from up here is the scale of the place. Absolutely enormous. So yeah, it's been a really nice flight. I think the thing that's made it has been the crew. The crew have been fantastic. The food was nice, but not as good as I was sort of hoping, really. But that said, you know, it's difficult to do really good food at 41,000 feet. I mean, I guess the thing is, this has been a day flight, so we've not really had the necessity to sleep. But that said, if I wanted to sleep, I could have done. I chose not to. It's now 1 a.m. In Delhi, so we'll get to the hotel about 2, and then I'll be ready for a good night's sleep, all being well. But yeah, I guess the question is, has this been has this flight really suffered by being in the older version of business class? So the British Airways Club World facility. Thanks for that. So the BA Club World is, there's no doubt it's a dated product. I had to step over another passenger, complete stranger's feet to get out to the aisle a few times. You know, now I'm a fairly tall guy, so it wasn't necessarily that big a deal for me, but I can imagine if I was smaller or a child, it would have been really a major problem to get over them without waking them up. I mean, fundamentally, and if of course you're on the aisle, then you've got the risk of someone else waking you up. So let's face it, this is quite an old product. That said, BA do have plans to replace this with the all-new Club Suite, so hopefully by the end of 2024, I think it is, this particular model of aircraft will have been upgraded. So on the whole, has this been a nice flight? Yes, it has. Would it have been better in Club Suite? I suspect it probably would. There's a few things that still niggle about this product now. It's getting so long in the tooth. The screen is a bit small, albeit that the films and the content is very modern. but yeah, the screen itself isn't all that, and it's not especially responsive. Lack of Wi-Fi is still a bit of a problem on such a modern plane. So yeah, not there are issues with it, but I'm definitely looking forward to trying out the next one. If you like this video, you know what to do. There's a subscribe button and there's a like button. Please use them, otherwise you won't get content like this again. If you've enjoyed it, please do press those buttons. If you haven't enjoyed it, I'm sorry, but there you go. And we'll see you next time. Bye.